Hello guys, Crispy here, welcome back to another video. In this one, my friends, I'm going to be testing a GeForce RTX 5090 in the good old GTA 5. Yes guys, I missed this game on the full review of this GPU because the video was already too long, but here we are and we're going to test it at some crazy resolutions. This one is the Founders Edition of the card. I am not overclocking it because that's a terrible idea. It's a 575 watt GPU already. You can see all of its specs, well, almost all of its specs here in Tech Power Up's GPU-Z because it still doesn't know what graphics card this is. Moving on to the rest of the system specs, I am pairing it with the Ryzen 7 9800X 3D CPU, fastest gaming CPU in the market at the moment, and 32GB of DDR5 6000MHz RAM CL30 in dual channel. Let's get into it, shall we? Now guys, you can see that for the first time ever in this channel, we're getting above 188 frames per second here in GTA 5, and that's because I installed a mod that unlocks the FPS from the capped 188 frames per second of this game, and it also fixes the engine-related stuttering that we saw previously when getting close to that 188 FPS number. So we're finally seeing the true power, my friends. We're not limited in any way, well, aside from the CPU. Because with these settings that I'm utilizing at the moment, this is 1080p resolution, 8 times MSAA, okay, and completely maxed out settings over here, including post effects, which is set to ultra. I usually disable it because I don't like the effects that come with it, but hey, it's max settings, all right, aside from motion blur there. And the advanced graphics are all turned on as well. The frame scaling is just resolution scaling. So this is complete maxed out settings at 1080p resolution, and we are actually CPU bound at the moment with the 9800X 3D. It's kind of crazy, you know. Obviously, if you don't do the engine unlocking FPS method, if you don't install the mod, you know, you won't be seeing above 188 frames per second, and if you get close to that number, it will stutter a lot, guys. You bastards, okay. Anyway, but I'll leave a link down below to the mod that I am utilizing here. You can't really play online with it, by the way, so there's that. Anyway, moving on. If you have those 360 Hz 1080p monitors and stuff like that, you can definitely take advantage of that with the 5090 over here in the 9800X 3D, although I don't really see the need to, and I don't really see the point of having a 1080p monitor with a GPU like this. I mean, again, we are CPU bound. We're not even reaching 100% GPU utilization here. It's at 69%. Very nice, actually. But yeah, you get the idea, right? 1080p is way too low of a resolution for a card like this, but I still wanted to include it here in this video since we're doing crazy things, as I told you in the intro. I thought we'd finally be GPU bound here in Jack's Hill, but we're not. We're getting 90% GPU usage. Maybe we are, I don't know. Wait a second. Hello, Jack. How's it going, friend? Oh, it's been a while, right? I'm so sorry I didn't visit you in the full review video of the 5090 that I posted, but you know, like, this game's getting old. We need to move on to GTA 6. Come on, Rockstar, please bring it to PC fast. Goodbye, Jack. I'll see you in the next resolution. Oh, boy. Okay. 95% GPU usage there. I guess here we're starting to become GPU limited, or getting close to become GPU limited. Where is Bob? This is terrible news, guys. I don't understand why Bob isn't here lately, guys. Also, I really dislike the fact that the depth of field is blurring pretty much everything. Goodbye, Bob! Hey, we found him after all, my friends, but we haven't killed him yet. Don't run away from me, Bob. Wait a second. What if I throw him a bath of gasoline? Do not phone the police. I am warning you, Bob. Come on. There we go. Did I kill him with a jump? Anyway, let's just do this. Oh, yes, Bob has a new haircut, actually. And let's make our ritual. This is not what I expected. Okay, wait. So now Bob is meeting Satan in hell. And that's where he should be. Stop rolling around, Michael! What the heck? But you know what, guys? This is probably enough of 1080p resolution. This is a very low res, once again, for this RTX 5090. It doesn't really get fully utilized, even with the 8 times MSAA that we're using here. Also, if I disable that, I wonder if there will be okay, yes, there is a jump in performance by disabling MSAA still, even at 1080p. Interesting, because GPU usage is not hitting 99%, but we were also not CPU limited apparently, guys. Alright, at least here, obviously out there with 60% GPU usage, we were CPU limited. But anyway, let's go up to 8 times MSAA again and 1440p resolution. This is a resolution that's still a bit too low for the RTX 5090, but here we can finally see it at 98% GPU utilization, at least here in Jack's Hill with all of the vegetation and stuff. So yeah, it's pretty intensive on the GPU. Still a very high refresh rate experience and still going above the engine limits if you don't use the mod to unlock it, by the way, sometimes. Oh boy! Oh, come on. Alright, it's all good. It's all good. Let's go. Keep on going here down the hill. We're getting 200 plus FPS in the city area and basically like, what, 120 to 180 in the vegetation areas. And that's just buttery smooth of an experience. This is 1440p with 8 times MSAA. And if you have a 27-inch monitor, for example, that is 1440p resolution, that has a pretty high PPI, you know, and it will look amazing, absolutely flawless with 8 times MSAA. Even 2 times MSAA is perfectly adequate for 1440p, in my opinion, in this title. But yeah, we're using 8 times here because we have the strength to do it with the RTX 5090. It's kind of insane, guys. 200 plus there. Whoo boy. Now, what if I disable MSAA here? We get pretty much the same FPS. Okay, but 50% GPU usage roughly. So, yeah, you see, like, if you want to utilize your 5090, you need to utilize some MSAA in GTA 5. But still, I am going to start counting our FPS, and we're going to go to Jack's Hill again. Check it out there now without MSAA, which should be CPU bound again. And by the way, the 9800X3D is an absolute beast of a CPU, okay? I'm saying CPU bound, but maybe I should be saying engine limited in some way, because the engine of this game, since this is an older title made in 2013 for consoles and 2015 on PC, well, it can't really utilize a lot of cores and threads, and our 9800X3D is also underutilized. But as you can see here, if you disable MSAA, it still goes up to 97% GPU usage in these vegetation areas. That's pretty crazy, guys. But we're getting 200 plus FPS all of the time, basically. It's kind of crazy once again. Hello, Jacqueline. How's it going? It's nice to see you as well. You know, we saw Jack first. That's awesome. But now we see Jacqueline as well. Please don't fall running like that. That's a really weird way to run uphill. Oh, there's Bob over there. Wait a second. Wait. Will she eat Bob? Wait. Come on. No, Jacqueline. To your right, please. Why don't you eat Bob? Wait. Is she following them? No, they're just running away. Yeah, maybe because they saw me. Goodbye, Bob and friend of Bob. All right, let's go. Jump off this area. Oof. It's crazy. Oh, boy. All right. Beautiful. So, 260 hertz experience at 1440p on average. Absolutely crazy. Again, this is the first time I have unlocked the FPS with the mod, and it is awesome. Okay, I really like this. All right, let's go back to 8 times MSAA, I guess, since this hasn't been a problem yet, you know. And let's go up to 4K resolution. So we're at 4K resolution with 8 times MSAA now, maximum settings everywhere else, okay, including the advanced ones. And I wanted to do things a little bit differently this time around, so I used the cheat Skyfall to fall from the sky, but usually he falls in like a skydiving way, not like this. So that was pretty weird. Let's try that again. Skyfall, please. Go skydive, Michael. No? Okay, maybe because of the mod that I'm using and the FPS. I don't know. It's not working properly. But hey, if you were wondering how many FPS you get looking at the city from above, it's still 100 plus. The ragdolls are just amazing in this game. Also, this is another reason why I don't like to use post effects on Ultra. The bloom is way too much, but again, I want to test it out on highest settings. You'll get a little bit higher FPS if you disable that or set the post effects to low. Alright, here we go. Just started counting the FPS. This game's so smooth, by the way. I haven't talked about this yet, but many of today's games with open worlds and stuff like that, especially UE5, you know, they stutter a lot, and this game is just so buttery smooth. I haven't seen a single stutter so far in today's video. It's crazy, right? This is what I love about older titles. They all so smooth. Obviously, this also had a ton of optimizations throughout the years, and when it came out, it wasn't really in the best state, so there's that. Anyway, let's keep on going here. Boy, oh boy. This is absolutely amazing, of course, at 4K, 144 or 143 FPS average at the moment. But now, inside of these bushes and the vegetation areas... Hello, Jacqueline, how's it going? Again, it actually drops a lot because of that 8x MSAA once again and how it works in this game. Obviously, this game is old, so it's not really optimized to run on these newer GPUs very well, but... it still doesn't drop from 60. This wasn't possible before, okay? Like, 8x MSAA is no joke. It's really, really demanding, even though the game is definitely not really, really demanding. Now, even though this is an extremely good experience, I would still utilize like 4x MSAA, because there's no need to get all of that MSAA going, you know, like 4x already looks flawless at 4K resolution, and now we're getting 200 frames per second instead. Okay. Also the wattage on that GPU, I didn't expect to see 500 watts plus in GTA 5, since this game doesn't utilize any ray tracing and stuff like that, you know, so it doesn't fully utilize all of the features of the card, but we're still seeing 500 watts plus GPU power usage there. Really crazy stuff, guys. All right, let's go in this direction. Actually, we haven't been to this area yet. 170s, full GPU usage once again still. That's really good to see. But your power bill, guys, will go up by a lot. If you want to use unlocked FPS, the GPU will suck a lot of power, as you can see. So what I would do is I would run these settings and lock it to 120 FPS to have a 120 Hz experience. I feel like that's perfectly fine for GTA 5, obviously, and then it's gonna be really pretty, it's gonna be really sharp, and it won't utilize as much power as it is utilizing at the moment. But of course, for benchmarking purposes, I'm showing you guys unlocked FPS. I really want to see the FPS now in Jack's Hill, or this hill. This is not Jack's Hill, but it's very similar, so we can see the FPS anyways in grassy areas and vegetation areas, and it still drops into the 130s, as you can see, but not from 130, so it's going to be flawless of an experience. Super high refresh rate all of the time. It's marvelous, magnificent, my friends. Obviously, once again, I mean, I'm saying these good things. The game's running absolutely perfectly, but it also ran absolutely perfectly on a 4090 or on a 3080 Ti or 3090 or a 2080 Ti. Even a GTX 1080 Ti can run this game at 4K max settings without MSAA just fine, you know. So obviously there's no match for the RTX 5090 unless we start utilizing some higher resolutions. But first I want to do like 2x MSAA, because people will play this game at 4K on this GPU, so I want to cover the more important setting here, or resolution actually, with various MSAA levels. And here we gained about 30 FPS compared to previously with 4x MSAA, still 99% GPU usage, still looking incredibly sharp, although now I can start notice a little bit of aliasing sometimes, but it's really hard to notice. It's basically flawless picture quality still, okay? So 2x MSAA is also another great option to play this game with on the RTX 5090, guys. 200 plus FPS basically. You could lock it to like, what, 200 frames and stay there pretty much at all times, aside from in grassy situations again. All right, over here, yeah, it definitely does drop from 200 into the 140s. Not bad at all. Jack is there. Beautiful. Let's keep on going over here. Hopefully we will find Bob in his normal habitat. We haven't seen him yet in this part of the hill, which I usually see him on, or in, I don't know, whatever. Yeah, it's still not here. I don't know what's going on in this game, but I'm not liking that, guys. I'm not liking that I have to search for Bob. He's developing some AI stuffs, guys, some AI brains. But anyway, that's it for the 2x MSAA experience. And now let's disable MSAA altogether, which I wouldn't really do. 1590, well, doesn't really need it, but yeah, if you are fine without MSAA, or if you want to lock your FPS to like 120 or 144 or whatever, it will consume less power with less anti-aliasing because it will use less GPU if you lock your FPS once again. And even here with unlocked FPS, you can see some fluctuation already on that GPU side of things. It's consuming a little bit less power, still consuming a lot though. Crazy card over here, guys. All right, I wish they improved the node a little bit more though, because then we would see some efficiency gains as well, but not this time around. Anyway, around here you can see the FPS. I didn't really pay much attention though, but this is it for 4K native without MSAA altogether. And if you're wondering, by the way, this game doesn't have DLSS, so I'm not using DLSS because of that. Sometimes I see some people asking about that, and also asking about DirectX 11 here. This game doesn't have DirectX 12. All right, these are the three options. I'm using the best one for this card. But let's finally push the card to the limits. 8K resolution is next. Look at that power usage. Getting close to DDP now, even without the ray tracings and stuff. That's crazy, actually. But this is it, guys. Max settings at 8K resolution. It's getting 70-ish frames per second. All right. And this is different from the settings that I utilized on the 4090. I think the 4090 was also getting around 80 FPS, but I didn't try that one with ultra post effects, which are a fair bit intensive, like 20% more intensive or something like that. It kind of makes sense because, well, this 20 or 30% faster than the 4090. But yeah, we're seeing very nice FPS, although I think it will drop from 60 still in Jack's Hill, guys. We shall find out, of course. For now, it is an absolutely amazing experience. All right, we're approaching Jack's Hill, guys. Here we are. Oh boy, dropping into the 60s. Damn. That's crazy. Oh boy. Oh, that's insane, dude. Okay, it's still not dropping from 60 FPS, though. What the hell? Now, inside of the bushes, it finally does drop into the 50s. But damn, that's really close to a 60 FPS plus 60 FPS plus all of the time experience. But you know what? I think it's time for me to start lowering down some settings here, like post effects, which again I really don't like. And this will give us quite a bit better of an experience in terms of FPS, as well as these over here. I'll disable all of the advanced settings now, and I will actually restart the game. All right, here we go, guys. This is it. 8K ultra settings, okay, without the post effects, which make it look a lot better in my opinion, because it has no motion blur anymore. Even with the motion blur set to the minimum on the bar or slider, it still has motion blur, and now we don't have all of that annoying bloom. I really don't like it, okay, but it's personal preference. 120 FPS sometimes, it's hitting that, 100 in the teens on average at the moment, 91% lows. Very nice indeed. What's not nice at all is my driving. I feel a little bit bad, but all you need to do is think that all of these people that I'm running over, they're Bob's friends, okay? And they support Bob, and they are the ones who go grab Bob whenever I kill him and take him out of hell and revive him, basically, and bring him to this world again of GTA. All right, finally, Jack's Hill. Not dropping from 60 FPS anymore, as you can see. 70s, 80s at times, even inside of these bushes and with all of this vegetation around us, and at the insane 8K resolution, there's no problem whatsoever. Where's Jack, by the way? He's not here. Did Bob eat Jack or something? I hope not. Oh my god, dude. I swear, I'm not this bad at driving in real life. Bob is here at least. Goodbye, Bob! Oh, classic goodbye, Bob. Anyway, guys, this is it, I guess. 105 FPS at 8K, or 106 now. 67 1% lows. That sucks, man. I wish it was 69, but hey. I think the next step up, my friends, is go insane with 16K resolution. And with the 4090, I did that by enabling frame scaling mode, which works the same as the native resolution method. But right now, I discovered a new way, and that is using custom DSR tool. And this allows us to actually do 16K natively. And, well, I'm just going to edit this entry here, set it to 4 times on the x-axis and 4 times on the y-axis. And that's 4 times the base resolution of my screen, which is 4K. And this makes it 16 times 4K. And this is it. We're now at 15360 by 8640 resolution, 16K. And this is actually the size of a 4K screen, I think. Right now, this little window in the middle of the screen. And here we are. I don't know what's wrong with the map, actually. This is ultra settings, guys. I think on low settings, we might get good FPS, maybe 60 FPS. That's awesome. I mean, this is obviously unplayable at this point. Nobody should do this ever. But if you were interested in knowing how a 5090 would handle an older title at this insanely high resolution, it has a few stutters here and there, not gonna lie. It feels very annoying. I think it's running out of VRAM, actually. Holy crap, yeah, it's allocating 31.5 gigabytes of VRAM, and the RAM went up to 17 gigabytes. So that means that it already swapped some things that should be on VRAM into the RAM. So if you want 16K gaming without performance losses because of VRAM, you'd need maybe 48 gigabytes of it. That's crazy, dude. But still, the fact that we're getting more than cinematic frame rates, which is 24 frames per second, actually is kind of insane. Once again, this is 16 times the resolution of 4K, which is already insane. I've played this game plenty of times with GPUs that couldn't even do 1080p lowest settings at 30 FPS, and I'm here now. Okay, I think it just crashed. Oh no, it didn't. It was just a massive stutter there. And it swapped a lot more things into the RAM. As you can see, it went up to 25 gigabytes of RAM now. Obviously, I cannot see a difference between this and like 8 times MSAA at 4K or 8K native resolution without MSAA. This is a very beautiful one. Wait a second, I want to grab that. Oh boy, come on, come on. No, 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 no. Stop there, please. Thank you very much. Still, guys, as I was saying, this is not great of an experience. Nobody should do this, but it's very impressive. 16 times the detail. Let's do something to make it work properly. I think I'm going to do lowest settings here and see how well that does with the 5090. But this is already above my expectations a little bit. I didn't think it would work this well with the ultra settings in this title in 16K. Like, it's such an insane resolution, it's hard to wrap your mind around it. Damn, guys, I'm looking at the numbers from the 4090 at 16K, and it was getting 20s here in this area. On low settings as well, okay? So this is more than double the performance of the 4090 at this resolution. That's probably because of the GDDR7 VRAM, the bandwidth as well. PCI Express 5.0 could also play a role there, as well as the massive buzz width of this GPU, 512 bits. But yeah, all of that together is giving us, right now, triple the FPS at 16K resolution compared to 4090. That's absolute insanity, actually. Obviously, this is no real-world scenario at all, and the 5090 isn't triple the 4090 performance or even double in any game whatsoever. Again, it's 20 to 30% or 20 to 35% faster, depending on the game at 4K resolution. But this is absolute insanity. I didn't expect it to reach these frame rates at 16K. This is 132 million pixels. Guys, 132 million pixels. 4K is 8.3 million pixels. And you know what? I'm curious. Can we push it to 8 times MSAA? I don't think so. It's the VRAM usage is red now. But you know what? Let's do it anyways. Let's go. Apply settings. It's probably just gonna crash, honestly. Yep, guys, I'm launching the game again because it gave me a black screen and it just crashed. So, expected. Once again, it needs insane amounts of VRAM to push 16K plus 8 times super sampling. It's Yeah, that's not gonna happen. Maybe in 10 years we'll be here playing at 16K and 8 times MSAA here, but today is not that day yet, right? Now, lastly for this video, I want to try some frame scaling mode 32K. Now, here's the thing. When I tried 20K on the 4090, it didn't work because the limit of DirectX is 16K. And that's what happens here as well. If I try to go above 16K, it just doesn't work at all because that's the limit of DirectX again. So there's nothing we can do about it. I wish we could try some 20K, 32K, even at 1 FPS, but it's not possible because of the API. Alright guys, and to finalize this video, since we can't go over 16K, let's go ridiculously low and try 800 by 600. Lowest settings, alright, 1000 FPS in the menu, and inside of the actual game we get 400 frames per second. Massively CPU bound, of course, because, well, yeah, GPU usage is at 20%. Sometimes lower than that. I thought it was going to be lower, honestly. It is such a low resolution now. And well, I'm gonna start counting our FPS and let's visit Jack with the lowest settings in GTA 5 without going into config files and stuff like that, of course. And kill Bob as well. That's very important, of course. But well, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video as much as I did making it. It was an absolute blast. Really lovely. Oh boy, hello Jacqueline again. Say Jack that I want to see him next time, please. Let's go over here now inside of the bushes. Same FPS, obviously, since we're not GPU bound. And Bob is in his true habitat. Goodbye, Bob, again, for the last time of the day. And I'll catch you in the next one very soon, guys. Love you all. Bye-bye.